Hello everyone, welcome back to the Forest Job. Today we'll be playing against Burnley at the City Ground. It's a game between a team very much in form and a team who are very much not in form. Let's have a look at Burnley. They're in 16th place in the league at the moment, sitting on 21 points after, what's this now, 17, 22 games. So we've had a decent number of games played already, and you can see that they're averaging around about a point a game, which is it's not brilliant, but it's not terrible either. Norwich, Leeds, and Aston Villa propping up the table at the moment, as you can see. Us, on the other hand, are doing very well indeed. We off the back of the 2-1 win against Liverpool in the FA Cup, we then beat them 2-1 in the league, followed by a 2-0 victory over Norwich City, which I was very pleased to see because traditionally we have struggled against teams that like to sit and soak up pressure. And the teams at the bottom of the league tend to be more of that ilk than not. So today's game against Burnley could be another one of those games. We're going to have to wait and see as we get into, hopefully very soon, the meat and potatoes. Negotiation day has been and gone. The opening of negotiations, I should say. We're in the middle of the transfer window at the moment, and we've actually just had a bid made for a player. Cosgrove has not extended his contract. I was trying to get him to extend his contract. Not that we have to worry about him leaving anytime soon, but I'm really trying to tie him down to a longer term contract and possibly get rid of that release fee. We'll play him in a few more matches and hopefully he's going to change his mind because I could really do without losing a player who has blossomed before our eyes in the way that Cosgrove has, very much pushing himself into contention as a first choice player for the team, moving ahead of Hernandez and Nyangbo. So um, we'll ignore all of that then. Let's move on and hopefully we'll get to game day. Jack Wilshere has joined up with the squad, and I'll be honest, he's played in a couple of games just in substitute appearances, and so far he's not doing very well for us. He was always only intended as a backup rather than a first team regular, but yeah, he's not doing too great for us at the moment. So, this is interesting. We've got a bid in for Nyangbo from Derby. He's a better player than this. I know his release fee is 3.8. And actually, his market value now is getting towards the point where it's going to overtake his release fee. But no, I'm sorry. We're not selling the Angbo. Not yet, anyway. Also, there's a scout report come in. Who's this for? It's for Lassana Traore, the Wolverhampton. I always thought of him as more of a wide player, but apparently they've got him listed here as playing through the middle. Very, very strong. Not necessarily the quickest, but definitely a brilliant target man. But we're happy with our striking options. At least I would say I'm happy with my striking options. Okay, here we go. Enough waffle. Let's get into the match today. We can see that we've got a few players who are starting to feel a little bit of the strain stamina-wise, including Willems on the left. And since he's out of form, I'm going to use it as an opportunity just to throw Yuri Ribeiro on for a game. Hadji not looking too great either. We still haven't adjusted everything since Kabai got injured, so Hadji can come back onto the bench from there. Wilshere, you can see there, is doing quite nicely actually. He's got good form markers at the moment. Frimpong can come in for Willems because he can play left and right back, and Cosgrove could go on the bench rather instead of Nyangbo. And let's give Wilshere one more go. And I will regret that. I'm entirely sure I will regret that. In fact, Harrington can come off the bench and Yates can go on in his place because Yates is developing into a very handy defensive midfielder. He's very, very strong, very good at holding the ball, and he can win the ball very well as well. So I'm very happy to have him in the squad. I very nearly sold him a year back, but I'm glad that I didn't. There was something about him I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be missing out. Okay, I think that's going to do us. Against Burnley, we should be all right. I'm hopefully going to be able to take one of the centre backs off at some point during the game just to give them a little bit of a rest up and also to give McKenna some more game time because he's deserved it off the back of his performances recently, especially against Liverpool, I think it was that he played, and he did very well indeed. So here we go. This could be a struggle. I'm going to warn you now. The games against teams of this calibre tend to be. They'll defend deep. They won't give us any space, and it's going to be up to us to make the most of our possession of the ball. Try to stretch them from side to side and fashion some sort of opening. Cosgrove will perhaps get some game time today as we kick off, and Busquets carries it forwards, finds Kabayi on his return to the team. Play it back to us if we see if we can use those wide areas early. And if we are to use those wide areas, we're going to have to move the ball a little bit quicker than this. Here's Arcas. Kabayi. He's just knocked off the ball, but he does manage to win it back very quickly. Oh, here's Yuri Ribeiro trying to get in behind the defence, crossed into the box, Guerrero underneath. And Portillo picks up on the loose ball, as it's well defended by Burnley, and you would expect that from them. Nice idea, couldn't quite get the execution right. And Troy Parrott, who is well known by those of you that follow Football Manager, he develops into a very good player. I think he was formerly of Tottenham. And now we come away with the ball. Is Arcas. Back to Yuri Ribeiro. Arrests his forward run. I'm going to tell him to run on as we move the ball centrally to Kabayi. No. Guerrero not doing what I wanted him to do, unfortunately, but never mind. We're going to have, hopefully, plenty of time as Portillo is released. The goalkeeper comes out and makes sure that nothing comes from that ball. Now here's Kabayi running into space, finds Guerrero. He's got Lolly out to his right, finds him. It's a lovely finish from Lolly, and on the break, Nottingham Forest have taken the lead. It was a cheeky, impudent finish from Lolly in many ways. As we see the replay here, Kabayi breaking, playing it through to Guerrero, who was playing quite deep, and then Lolly takes one touch, and then with the outside of the left boot, scoops it around the despairing hands of the goalkeeper. Better angle here, although it will switch. Here we go. Yeah, you can just see there with the outside of the left foot, just scoops it into the bottom corner. That's a cheeky finish to put the team 1-0 ahead. So we've broken down the defence of Burnley fairly early, and that's going to do us some favours because now they're going to be forced to push forward a little bit more. They'll have to abandon any defensive stance that they might have taken, try to eke out a victory as the ball takes a deflection off of a Burnley defender and goes out for a corner. Ribeiro looking to whip one in here. Centurion near post header, and it's a great save from Nick Pope. Rose like a salmon to claim that ball and then hoofs it forward. Busquets kind of beaten by Troy Parrott, who inexplicably then loses the ball. Kabayi to Arcas. Yuri Ribeiro, advanced position outside of him. Tries to play it back inside to Arcas, but Wood intercepts, and now Burnley have the chance to counter-attack here. Wood with plenty of space, running into it. Busquets doing his best to win the ball back. Can't do it, and it's an excellent effort from Chris Wood, which is saved and palmed out to a safe area where Ribeiro can pick it up. No, not a good ball at all from Centurion. Don't know what he was thinking there. Pumped long, Bramer underneath along with Chris Wood. That's going to be a good battle all day, I think. two no-nonsense players who love to head the ball. Now Kabai, and he's got loads of space here, and he's going to try to use it. Saw the runner Guerrero, finds him. Lovely lofted pass, and Lolly just not able to get an accurate head onto it, but that was a lovely cross into the box by Guerrero, I think on his wrong foot. I can't remember exactly, but I think Guerrero is right-footed. And the fact that he got that level of accuracy on the cross, that's lovely. Funnily enough, you used to see Alan Shearer pop a few decent crosses into the box. When I was younger, I used to think that it was the case that all strikers were able to cross the ball well because they knew where they wanted it themselves. Of course, I was too young to realise that there was a technical aspect behind that. So there you go. That's young, stupid Dave. Chronicles of. As Busquets gives away a free kick in a not so dangerous area, but it could develop into a dangerous situation. We're going to take control of Bremer and just, well, we didn't even need him in the end because it didn't beat the first man. As Zafuik takes the ball down the right-hand side, he's got Joe Lolly with him. And he will just roll it into feet. Back to Zafuik, he's got loads of time on the ball here. Can he find the cross? Oh, Guerrero's completely missed that one. I don't know how he's managed that. He'll be very, very embarrassed to have missed that one. 1-2 attempt didn't come off. To be honest, it was never on, as Bremer does a great job of neutering Parrott. Zafuik into Arcas. Back to Bremer, who finds Ribeiro wide on the left-hand side. Inside to Arcas again. Oh, no. Bad timing on the pass. Get it back, though. Then I'm trying a little bit of trickery there, and unfortunately my timing is completely off. And we surrender the ball to Burnley, who tried to hit us on the break and very nearly did. And there's the half-time whistle. It's a 1-0 lead for Nottingham Forest going into the break. A decent first-half performance by the home team. We'll hope for more of the same in the second half. As you would expect, Nottingham with a lot of possession of the football. Burnley have made a good game of it, though. You look at the number of shots for each team and it's very, very tight. So Burnley definitely one of those teams that like to play as much without the ball as with it. Although, as the old adage says, you can't score when you haven't got the football. Now, this might not be advisable, but I'm thinking about changing things. No, not yet. One thing I will do, actually, though. Make a change at full-back. I would still like to make a change at centre-back, but I'm just realising now that when you're facing up against Chris Wood, and also Troy Parrott, has to be said, give him his due, you kind of need that aerial presence in the centre of defence, as Wood picks up the ball deep, and I thought for a second we were going to be in trouble, but he sends it over to Westwood instead. Here's Parrott, back to Wood. Ribeiro is beaten. Great tackle by Arcas. Fantastic play. He really has come on leaps and bounds in the last year. Out to Frimpong. Lolly's outside of him and he uses him. Cross into the box. Guerrero. Oh, what the hell? Centurion just completely ignored it. That's a real shame. Didn't ignore that though. And it goes out of play for a Forest throw. And now a little bit of a change of pace as Rodriguez comes on for Troy Parrott. I don't remember Rodriguez being particularly difficult to defend against in the air, but we do still have Chris Woods there. And if he chooses to pick up on the weaker of the two centre-backs. Oh dear, we just about got away with it, but no, free kick given against us. To be honest, I thought that was a complete 50-50. But Cork getting the decision, and Thomas will take the free kick. Launched forward, Rodriguez underneath, and amazingly enough, wins the first headed challenge of his time in the game. Here's Jack Cork again. And Busquets wins that well. Guerrero. Probably should have switched it the other way, but he's decided to go this way instead. Lolly. Oh, it's 2 for Joe Lolly. Brilliant unselfish play from Guerrero, the centre-forward, who by all rights could have taken the opportunity himself, but instead decided to spread the play out wide. It's a brace for the English winger, Joe Lolly. Nick Pope will be annoyed. He will feel he shouldn't have been beaten at his near post like that. I have to say, I agree. So now I think with 2 goals we can think about changing things a little bit, and we are indeed going to. Now I would have brought Cosgrove on to make a difference, but despite the contract issues, I'm not. I'm actually going to bring on Hernandez instead, and Jack Wilshere will have to wait another minute or 2, I think. Get up to 70 minutes and then we can bring Jack on and see what he can do for us. I promise I'm not going to force the Jack Wilshere issue. I just want to get a good game out of him, honestly. Bremer. Oh, Wood does well to win the ball there. But the second ball falls kindly for us and we're able to come away with it. Busquets. Hernandez into Centurion. Oh, he couldn't quite get the shot away in time. Good defending by Burnley. And this should go out for a Forest throw. Indeed it does. I jinked when I should have janked. Never mind. Chris Wood, good hold-up play. Finds Jack Cork on the opposite side. Worrell with Rodriguez. And Worrell wins the header. And away we come. Ah, that's a shame. The ball from Lolly, not quite good enough. And I think now I will make that final change. And Kabayi has had a good game, but it's time for him to say goodbye. And on will come young Jack Wilshere. And we'll see what he can do for us. I am feeling like... well, that's a good win of the ball to start off with Jack Wilshere, so... that justified it pretty much immediately. We'll see if he can continue to keep up with play. Busquets. Centurion. One man has a nibble. Centurion is taken out by a second. And we'll have a free kick here. It's a good dribbler of the ball when he's feeling like it, Raul Centurion. But all too often, he just ends up losing it a little bit ignominiously. So, funnily enough, Jack Wilshere's on the free kick. He's not the best free kick taker that we have. That would be Arcas. Apparently he can't take a free kick worth a damn though anyway. Here's Wilshere, Busquets, Arcas. Oh, he's dinked around one, lines up the shot. That's lovely from Centurion. Can he find the cross to match it? No, he can't, but Arcas might have a dig here. Oh, he holds his head in his hands, and it's no wonder why. He had all the time in the world to line the shot up, and he couldn't quite get it in the end. It was a little bit tame. Arcas has let that one slip by him. I don't know why. Wood. Busquets taken out. Not physically, I of course mean out of play. As Ribeiro picks it up on the left-hand side and brings the ball forward, looking to commit this other player, Portillo, and that's done it. Now Arcas, Busquets, Lolly. Now here's Jack Wilshere. Inside to Arcas. Just knocked off the ball a little bit too easily, I think. Never mind. Worrell wins the ball back. It's a lovely bit of play by Worrell. And he's going to go for the cross, I think. And he does. And Hernandez, oh my word. Worrell has got an excellent cross on him. In another life, he could have been a fullback, I think. Oh, he wins it again. Brilliant defending. That wasn't so good. Here's Portillo. Can he find a cross? He's got a man in support inside of him. And he uses him. It's Chris Wood. And that's all she wrote. It's another decent 2-0 victory for Nottingham Forest. Burnley, in the end, not really giving the kind of opposition that we perhaps would have expected from them. But a relatively early goal from Joe Lolly really took the sting out of what could have been a very tactical encounter between the two teams here. Here's the first goal on the break. As we know, Joe Lolly assisted by Guerrero, and it was a lovely finish by Lolly just with the outside of the boot. In fact, Guerrero getting 2 assists in this match. If he doesn't get an 8 out of 10, I think that there is some injustice in this world. So there was the first goal on 18 minutes. Then Chris Wood had a shot in the 27th, which didn't really threaten too badly, although it did take a good save from Samba, the goalkeeper. And Joe Lolly had another effort, this time with his head, which sailed effortlessly over the bar. No real danger of it going in there. Without our big English centre forward on the pitch, Cosgrove, we're not really a threat. Now, this goal was lovely because Guerrero had already beaten his man. He could have taken the shot himself, but instead, after ghosting past the last man, he gives it to Lolly, who finishes on his left. It was a lovely finish from Lolly. And then this free kick, maybe I should have had Wilshere have a crack at it. I don't know, but Arcas couldn't get it over the wall. And then we had this shot from Arcas, followed up with another shot, which we won't see, which was the one that he controlled on his chest. Probably the chance that I would have preferred to see in the highlights. So here's stats, and you can see the second half was really one-way traffic for Nottingham Forest. Burnley never getting back into the game. They didn't give us anything in terms of attacking threat in that second half. Other than that, though, you'd say it was a pretty good game. Pretty even as far as the number of interceptions and tackles were concerned. But Nottingham Forest just making the most of that 62% possession during the game. Almost 2/3 of the game belonging to the boys in Garibaldi red. So Lolly and Guerrero both getting a 7.5. Frankly, I think they've been robbed. Yuri Ribeiro only getting a 5. I don't understand these rating systems at all. Apparently he was worse than almost every single player on the Burnley side. I don't buy that for a second. Worrell getting a 6, and that is justified. I think he had a very solid game in defence. He won some key challenges on the flanks, which is not really his job, but in this formation with the attacking fullbacks, he does find himself having to drift out there a little bit more often than he would perhaps like. Here's the rest of the results from matchday 23 of the Premier League. You can see Manchester City and Liverpool both picking up wins, as did Leicester City, 3-0 away to Leeds United. That's a very good result for Leicester City. Brighton getting a 4-2 win at Aston Villa as well. Aston Villa still in trouble. Newcastle United beating Fulham 1-0. That's good news for Newcastle, who should be comfortably in mid-table at this point. Everton 4-2 winners against Southampton. West Ham holding Tottenham to a 2-2 draw. match of the round is probably the Manchester United-Arsenal match, which United ended up walking out winners of 3-1. And the final match of the fixture list for today was Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, with Chelsea walking out the victors 1-0. So that's how it leaves the Premier League table after 23 games in. You can see Newcastle United down there in 12th position on 29 points, with Chelsea just ahead of them on 38. Well, I say just ahead. That's quite a lead, actually. 9 points ahead on 38 points in 9th position. Nottingham Forest sitting very, very pretty indeed. 5th position in the league at the moment, 2 points ahead of Everton and 4 ahead of Arsenal, with Leicester City level pegging with us there. Goals for looking very healthy indeed. We've scored 30 goals in the league this season now, and we have the best defence in the league by some distance. Right, there we go. That is everything for today. When we return next time, it will more than likely be the end of the transfer window. We might even make it the game against Aston Villa, so we can go through any potential transfer business that we may have had. Although I'll tip my hat to you now and just let you know that I'm not looking to make any more signings this transfer window. So it probably won't be a particularly interesting. A new talent rises. Jack Wilshere, well, he's not a new talent. I suppose he's new for us. Some of these news headlines are very strange. So yeah, as I was saying, we'll come back for probably the Aston Villa game, if not the Newcastle game. There probably won't be anything of interest for those of you who are all about signings, but you never know. Something might crop up. We might have something land in our lap that we can't turn down. We certainly have the finances for it. But that will do. As I said before, thanks very much for watching, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.